gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real.
Hello everyone, this is my review of the Netflix movie, The Five Bloods. Blank viewers, please don't skip over this movie because you think it's just gonna be one of those Spike Lee movies that's just timed to where it's talking about all these cultural issues and it's just gonna piss you off. Please don't skip this movie. I was about to skip this movie because of those things, but don't skip it. This one is almost perfect. In many ways, to me, this movie is a reminder of the black experience. While it isn't totally focused on the mistreatment of African American men in our military, it does constantly remind you of the trauma that they experienced in the military and the trauma they experienced coming back from the military. Much like in real life, we don't go throughout the day thinking about police brutality or racism or other things. But because of the color of our skin, it's something that you can constantly be reminded of if your experiences and the people around you dictate that. One of my favorite things about this movie, if you watch it, the opening and the closing are so poignant, so perfectly timed with everything that's going on in American society. You have equal opportunity police brutality taking place. You know, you have the situation with the man being pushed over in Buffalo. You have random white supporters being shot rubber bullets at and being hit in the face, and you have people who's getting tear gassed on their own porch. You have people like Sarah Grossman, whose death is just totally swept over in all this. You have the guy in Atlanta who was shot, I think it was like last night, shot while after sleeping in his car or something like that. So you have all these different things going on, and you have a good movie that comes out, and you're like, good, something I can escape into, which is exactly what I was looking for after doing my own video and then going into a small depression. But the thing I like so much about this movie is that it serves as a reminder of everything that's happening today. It touches in the beginning and at the end on our past issues as African Americans, and then it touches on the modern day issues that we have as African Americans, and it links the two further, to me, helping those who may say that they don't get it. It'll help those people understand if you could see the issues that were dealt with in the 60s and 70s and how they're still so relevant in today's society. Now, I know the headliner of this movie is Chadwick Boseman, but allow me to say that Delroy Lindo deserves some type of recognition for the job that he did with this movie. I don't want to give anything away about anything, but I do want to say that he shines so hard in this. He transformed into PTSD, Vietnam vet, Agent Orange, all that, and it was very, very believable, very well done. High applause for him and everything he did in this film. Again, when talking about the quality of this movie, you have a Spike Lee produced film, high quality. I would have to say that it's probably the best film that I've seen produced by Netflix. And I know Netflix kind of just slapped their name on it just like they did with the platform. It's not necessarily a Netflix movie, but I have to say that this one was very, very good, and easily accessible as it is, I don't think anybody should pass this up. I would give it a 9 out of 10. Only thing that I would say that's a negative about this movie, as just movie watching goes, is that it feels like it went on a bit too long. There were certain things that just could have been cut, and I don't know why they weren't. This movie was 2.5 hours, and it could have easily been a flat 2 or 2 hours and 15. Like 15 to 30 minutes could have went to me. Christian worldview time. Here's the deal. This movie is great. Highly touted. I would be surprised if it didn't get some type of award recognition, just because it was very moving and it was just so on time for the situation that our nation finds itself in. But as a Christian, it's hard to recommend this to other believers just because the amount of cursing and the amount of violence that's in it. And let's get into that. The cursing, personally, I can deal with, and I think most people can deal with. But what I must say, that the violence in this movie is so jarring. Not jarring because it goes too far. To me, it's very jarring because it's so unexpected. The part where the violence comes in at is at a point where you just didn't expect these things to happen. And then it happens. And it happens graphically. And I was like, man, it reminded me that I'm watching a movie that's basically a war movie, or it's a movie that's taking place in a war-torn country, and these men quickly find themselves in a warlike situation. And I was just like, wow, like I wasn't expecting it to go there. It wasn't going in that direction to me at that point. And then when it went there, it went there, and it was rough to see. So overall, on the Christian side, if you're sensitive to cursing, you're sensitive to violence, then this may not be the one to you. But to be quite honest with you, because of the message that this movie sends, I would say suck it up and watch it, because there's a message in this movie that is very much needed for the nation at this time. Just a very gentle reminder that, hey, these issues that we trying to say like, oh, I don't get it or I don't understand, those issues are not new issues. And if you don't get it and you don't understand, it's like they said it here and they said it here, and now we're seeing it here. And again, I'm making that correlation myself. It's not what the movie does. If you just want to watch a good action adventure, Spike Lee produced movie with an all black cast and just a whole lot of diversity, watch it. It's good. You can get over the cursing and the violence. But I don't think anybody will be able to watch it, Christian or otherwise, be able to watch this movie and say, I didn't get the messages. It didn't resonate, nothing special to me. So definitely give it a look. So we've come to that part in the video where I'm making recommendations. I'm gonna link my platform video at the end, because that's one that's still getting views and still getting comments. It's probably the best movie that you can watch on Netflix at the time. I'll also link some Cologne reviews, because I'm getting into those right now and you might want to check those out. If you are watching on YouTube, please click one of those links. If you are watching on Facebook, please follow this page for more movie, TV, product reviews, and thank you for spending a few minutes with me.